start the recording. I am starting the recording. This is Design 301. It's our lecture from Tuesday the 14th, and we are on Google Meet. And so this is work week 4 that I'm just calling Drafting Skills Practice. We're still just going over drawing lines and things like that. At the very, very last one, we're going to do something called line type. Just to get you easing into next week, where we'll actually start talking about standards. Lines are supposed to look a certain way when you draw them in a certain industry. But that'll be next week. So let's see what we've got going here. Again, we're going to focus on AutoCAD. Here I've got my screen ready for AutoCAD. We do have a playlist. And there's two in here. There's the array command and the load line types. So those are going to be prominent for you. And I might need one for the arc command, but it'll be embedded in what we do here. So we'll see if I need to make one. I really should make one for the arc command, but I didn't. There's no reading list. You can get with me on the calendar. Here are our resources. Okay, there's actually 7 things this week. Oh my gosh, now there's a lot. There's this one, and it looks all complex, but when you watch me do it, you'll go, oh, got it. There's a process that we can go through that makes this pretty easy. And if you see a different way to do it that ends up with this result, that's fine. There we go. Here's another one. And I'm going to, even though it's not really on our list, I'm going to teach you how to do the mirror command with this one. Here's a cool kind of an array. It's a pattern. More of that work that you've already started with. Another one. This one reminds me of James Bond. And another one. And those are pretty quick. And this one, no text. This is kind of like copy, copy, copy. Once you have one of these little things drawn, it's copy, copy, copy. And I'm going to suggest that you just put this in here and trace each one of these. And then we'll put it in. And at the end of our standard workbook, there's an exercise where you'll draw these to a specific size and put all this stuff in. But this one's kind of like, oh, okay, I got it. I can do a cool thing. And here's the line type one. And you can actually make lines that look like all of these, and that's what you'll do. So I'm going to demonstrate a bunch of those today. In our discussions, we've got this one, and Alicia, you might have seen these. These are burn templates to be able to burn the end of a pipe so that they can fit together as a branch or a T or something like that. And I did these forever when I came out of college and started working for a pipe cutting company. We had to do them all by hand, and it was brutal. But we actually have ways of making this very quick and easy now. So if you can figure out what this thing really is, it was for our shop floor for our welders. And I'll tell you, they always checked my work before they started burning. Our welders actually knew this far better than me. So if you can see if you can find a photo of what these are used for. You can type in burn template or pipe end fitting template, something like that. And then look at this and go, what is this all about? Maybe, Alicia, do you recognize this as something that you had to do with this with pipe fitting in the Coast Guard?
Oh, I actually never did pipe fitting. I was an electrician.
Oh,
The
okay.
pipe fitting story I told you about the Navy was just that they would take X-rays of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So tons of, oh my gosh, tons of stuff. Let me go to this and see. Nope, it still says I need access. Um, and we'll go over those. I'm going to send you a request back, and then maybe in your email it'll ask back for it. Okay. Oh, I know how I can do this. Honestly, I've got a way to do this. No, it won't let me do that. Sorry about that. I was dinking around trying to get that to work and it kicked me out. So we'll go do that again. Okay. Um, let's get back into here. Nope, that was my thing. And I'm pretty sure I'm still recording though. That's good. Okay, so those were the resources. We have the production drawings and then the workplace preparation. This is about what that drawing is. It's pipe fitting, and that was a big part of my job in almost all of the companies I ended up working for. And so here's a plumbing detailer job description. And so look at that, and this is what it says you're supposed to be able to do. And then it says, look at that drawing and look at this job description and see if your current skills might apply or not. And then maybe think about, ooh, I wonder what it'll take to make that type of a drawing. Okay, so you're really going to go back to that other one. That's the type of drawing that these people are going to be doing a lot of. Kind of cool. Plumbing detailer. And plumbing detail, you think, oh, it's a plumber, you just put pipes together. Oh my gosh. Plumbing detailing is one of the hardest sets of detailings there is to do. And that other little one here kind of lets you know why. The end of the pipe has to be set just right. And so this is what they call a burn template for the pipe. But look, I think you can do this, especially after you figure out what's going on. This is actually just, if you knew this process, it really is just drawing lines. And then that polyline that I showed you the other day with a fit. So it's copy, 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 project, draw lines, trim, draw lines, trim. So you actually have the skills to do this. You just don't know the process, which is kind of cool. We might do one of those at the end. Okay, and so what does your submittal template look like? Here we go. So we've got our first page again. Please get it all the way filled out. And then each of these, and these, just the shape, not the fancy stuff, not the dimensions, just the shape. Put it there. And so as you go, and each one of these, some of these might take you 15 or 20 minutes, and some might take longer. But we'll see. So I'm just going to get into it. If you don't have any questions right now, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, I'll just get into it and start drawing some of these. If you don't have any questions, and we'll talk about the tools that are needed. Okay, there we go. I'm going to try it one more time. Open. Nope, still says access. We'll go over that and get it figured out. I don't know why that's not letting the sharing go. I'll give you a little video on that, and you can make a quick appointment, and if we have time at the end, you can just share your screen. and we'll see what's up. So this is what I want to do, and I'm going to have it up in the corner where I can refer to it now and then. I pretty much know this one, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to draw a line 6 inches long, and then I'm going to draw my end circles. Okay, and then I can draw some more lines, and I'll show you about that. To make this weird thing up here, believe it or not, it's drawing a line at an angle, making some circles, and then doing the arc command, which I haven't shown you yet. There's a really cool command about arcs, and then there's that fillet command, which I'll also show you. It's a lot like chamfer. So there's some new commands, but they're pretty straightforward, simple commands. So I'm going to draw a line, some circles, kind of make this bottom thing. And then I'm going to draw a line and a line. And then I'm going to draw some arcs on those things. And then you'll see how those arcs match up, and that's all cool. So here we go, and I can close that, and I can bring that up as a reference. And I'm going to make my AutoCAD just a hair smaller. There, now I can see everything that I need. And so my first thing, and I'm all set up. So I'm going to draw a line 6 inches long. And that's just a target line. And I'm going to put my ortho on for now. So that's 6 inches long. And then I draw these little circles. And so when it tells me, it says a 9/16 drill. Well, we don't really say that anymore. That's a diameter of 9/16. Circle, diameter, click, 9/16. I'll turn my thing back on. So circle, diameter. And be sure that you use the circle diameter tool. Now I've got circle radius tool, 13/16. It says R, 13/16. So I want to make sure I get the radius. I'm taking my time. I'm not in a real rush. Now, if I have my quadrant line set, that'll go, see how it goes like top, bottom, right, left? So I want to go to the quadrant of a circle and draw my little connector lines. And I just hit enter a few times. And now I can get rid of what I don't want. I've made an extra one there and an extra one there. And I can do that trim stuff. Cool. See how I kind of have this main thing. My next thing to do is draw this thing. And it says that it says R 3 7/8. So it's 3 7/8, that whole arc. So that's 3 7/8 at 30 degrees. This is 3 7/8 up to 15 degrees. So those are multiples of 15. Three dash 7/8, just like it says. Well, that's cool. And my other one comes over here and then up 15 degrees. 3 7/8. So I just drew this little target line and this little target line. And I can draw a circle and a circle. So this is kind of weird. It says there's a gap of 1/2 inch here. That means that this circle has a diameter of 1/2. The whole trick to these things is decoding the mystery of what they've showed you. So this one says that I can make that a circle of 1/2. And then my other one is a radius of 3/4. And notice I'm typing it in like it says. I feel always more comfortable doing that. So now I've got a couple of cool things that I can do. I can do an arc command. Okay, but there's a few other things I want to do. So I know that there's an arc from where this little intersection is down somewhere over here. I don't know where. And then I'm going to fillet it. And same with this one. So I'd like to lengthen this thing out. So I'm just going to draw another line out along there. Watch what I'm going to do. Here's an arc command. And what do I know? I know the center of the arc, where the arc starts, and then I can just draw it down to here somewhere. So that's center, start, and the end. So there's all these ways depending on what I know. But I know where the center is, the start, and the end. Center is here. Start is here. And the end is going to be somewhere down here. I don't actually know where. I don't know where. But I know it's going to be somewhere down in here. Now check this thing out. It says make a radius of 3/4. That's called a fillet. When you match two lines with a radius, that's called a fillet. And there it is right there. Here's how that one works. Fillet. I'm going to have to tell it the radius. 3/4. And then it says pick two lines. And so I want to do it between this line and this. Isn't that cool? Is that the coolest thing you've ever seen? I love that. Okay, now I know that this line is going to have to be out here again, so I'm just going to draw it somewhere. It got rid of that little line, but I'm going to use that same process of arc because now I know the center, the start of the arc, and it's going to end up down here. Now you should know this is a counterclockwise command. So when I pick my start point, I always want to pick it so that I'm coming counterclockwise. And then I can do the fillet. And I already typed in the radius so it remembers, but I can type it again if I want. And I'm going to do it between this point and now I see that I didn't really need that line. Okay, what was that about counterclockwise? The arc command is counterclockwise. So if I go center, start, and I try to go end, see how it's always drawing counterclockwise. It won't draw a clockwise one. See how it's always drawing from counterclockwise. Richard, what's your question?
Oh, wait, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Sorry. So the second fillet radius that you put
Uh-huh,
in,
that one right there.
yeah, looking at the example, isn't it a little bit different?
Oh,
One and
you're
yeah.
right. You're right.
Oh, okay.
I got sloppy. It's 1 1/4. So here's how you fix it. That's a great point. Watch this. Click, get rid of it, and just put a new one in. Fillet R 1-1/4. That's what I love about AutoCAD. You know, if I had done that in the working world before I had AutoCAD, I would add my eraser out, and they had those spinny ones, and I had to erase it. And then, if my boss came over and could see the eraser marks, then they were mad. There we go. That one's better. Thank you very much, Richard, for catching that for me. Okay. And so now there's a few more things. I can see that I don't really need that little thing anymore. But now I've got this center start end thing again from center start end. And guess what? How many ways can you figure out to do this next one? How about the offset command? Just to have fun, I'll try an offset of 1/2 inch. This is just to show you oh my gosh, there are so flipping many ways to draw in AutoCAD. And now I have to trim, and I'm going to go ahead because I only want you to show me the part. Show me the part. There it is. So there's a lot to I'll tell you, if you just take your time and sort of try to think it through and go, okay, what do I know? What can I do? How can I do this with what I know? Well, this one, you kind of needed to learn the fillet command because this one would have been brutal without the fillet command. Could have been done, but it would be hard. And it really needs the arc command, although I could have drawn these all as circles and trimmed stuff away, right? I could have gone trim, trim, trim. So I could have made it with circles. However you get it done is cool. And so now I'll go ahead and do my line weight thing. I haven't done that yet. There we go. And I'll go ahead and I'll take my snip. I always get my little cursor in the wrong spot. And so this goes as plate 1 in my week 4. From week 4. There it is. Cool, huh? And then, of course, I'll save this drawing because that's, might need to go back to it someday. I guarantee you'll need to go back to it someday. I guarantee you'll need to go back to it this semester. So it's good to save these. Yep, hint, hint. You got it, Cynthia. And look, here's the thing. Here's the cool part. If I ask you to do something to this again and you've lost it or you don't have it, just going to be good practice putting it together again. So I don't make a big deal about it, but you're going to want to have this for when we start putting dimensions on them and stuff like that. Okay, any other questions about how to do this one? Okay, then let me go on to the next one. I don't need to save that one. Here I go with a a new one. Turn that off. All this should be set the same again. Let's look at plate 2. And this is going to have some similarities to it. There's going to be a ton of arcs. Just at this time, I'm going to draw a lot more lines to give me targets. Because you see, there's the little center of a circle. Here's the center of one set of arcs. These ones. Those all point down to the center. And these ones all point at that one. So there's some key places for you to think about when you set this one up. So I'm just going to do some setup. I'm going to draw something 5 5/16 long. 5-5/16. So I just drew this length from here to here. And then I'm going to draw up 1/2. And I just found that point. And now I'm going to find this point over 3/4. Now, some people like to turn those red so that they look different. And that's cool. You can go to these properties. I just did a right click. I highlighted those and then I did a right click and I look at the properties and here's the color. And if I want to, I can change those red so that as I'm drawing, I don't get confused. But I know that I just drew this line, and this line. And so these are all arcs that are center, start, 90 degrees. Or they're circles that I trim. I'm going to practice the center, start, 90 degrees thing. Now, I just happen to know that I'm going to need one more line just shooting up here. And I'm going to need a line shooting out here. And I'll show you why in a little bit. Make those ones red too. I think I need those lines. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to draw this little arc right here. I know the center. I know the start. And I know the angle, 90 degrees. Center. I'm going to go up this direction and type in 15-16. And there's my 90 degrees. I don't know why I got that one too long. Let's try that one again. I don't know. It wasn't hitting my little thing very well there. Center. Go up this way. 15/16 and type 90. There we go. So this one right here is this arc from here to here. 15/16 radius. So what's my next one? 1 9/16. So I'll do the same thing. Center. Want it to go this way. 1-9/16. Enter and 90. And my last one is 2. 2 at 90. So I just drew this one, and this one. Let me do my next one. Center, start, 90. Okay, this is that weird having to go the right direction. Center. I've got a radius of 7/16, and it goes 90. Try that again. Center. 7/16 at 90. I don't know why that's not doing that. Well, it wasn't letting me type there. Yes, Cynthia. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Were you going out too far because you did 2 lines? Why were you having such trouble?
I actually don't know what was causing that problem. It was snapping somewhere weird, probably.
Okay.
Sometimes it just and when I work, so I don't normally work dynamic. I'm so old school, but I like to try to teach in dynamic because that's where it's all gone. So sometimes I get confused. Let's go this direction. My next one is 1-1/16 and 90. There we go. I think it was trying to snap somewhere. And this one is 1-1/2, enter, sweep it, 90. So I just drew this arc, and this arc. So the last thing I need is this little circle. And it's weird. It's a circle between this point and this point. I'm going to show you another circle between 2 points. Click, click, and trim. So I've got this whole half of a thing done, which is kind of cool. And then this is offset 1/2 inch. If I can do that, offset, I have to get back over here. See that? It's offset 1/2 inch. Offset 1/2. And I can turn it back to the right color in the properties. And the color is called by layer. There we go. And now I've got this radius, fillet radius of 1. Click, click. Okay. I've got a lot of this now. I've got this line, this line, this line. I've got a lot of these lines. And I see it's all done again down here. If you want to, you can do that all over again. Or you can use this cool thing called the mirror command. So I'll mirror, select my objects, click, 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 click. Of course, I could use my window command, but I'm click, click, clicking. So I'm done selecting the objects. I'll type enter. And what's the mirror line? I'm going to mirror it about that. And then I just have to connect this up. And I've got almost everything. I've got everything but this. And so there's a few ways people do this. And the way we have trim set, it gets rid of stuff. You can undo that, but I'm going to do it kind of the hard way. So I'm going to draw this circle, which is a 15/16 circle. And that's the radius. So I want to make sure I got radius. 15/16. And then over here it says to draw out 1 1/16 and go up to the quadrant. draw out 1 dash 1 1/16, and then go up to the quadrant. Now I can trim. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to get rid of that. And get rid of that. So I can do the same thing again, or I can do the mirror command again of this. So many ways to go, right? And then there's some sort of a fillet radius there. Radius, 1/2. Enter repeats the command. And now I can do an arc again. I know where the center is. I know where the start is. I know where the end is. Center, start, end. The center is here. And I'll turn all this stuff off for now, just for a sec. I want endpoint. So from that endpoint up to that endpoint. And then what's my middle one here? Diameter 3/4. Circle. Diameter 3. Now I can just get rid of the extra stuff I don't need anymore. Wow! That was some cool stuff, wasn't it? Putting on my line weights, all this kind of stuff that I do. So the more commands you have that make life fast for you, the more cool it is. But it's really all about, seeing what you know and recognizing what you could do. You could do this whole thing with circles. And for years, I actually would probably, if I had to draw this really quick myself, I would do circles rather than arcs. But, it's fun to learn how to do arcs. And I need to save my drawing. Plate 2. So that's kind of a cool one too, don't you think? I like that one. Let me close that. Let's see what our next one is. Plate 3. Okay. This one will take a little bit of thinking, but it's pretty cool. I'm going to make it bigger while I think. And this is 3/8 by 3/8. It's not very clear, but it's 3/8 by 3/8. If I were to draw this little triangle, and then spin it around, I would have it. I would have this thing. And then if I were to copy 4 times over, 4 times down, I'd have it. And there are some cool commands that help me do that. So that's what I'm going to do. What I'm going to try. I'm going to try that. So I'll make a new drawing. And so this is 3/8 over, 3/8 up, and connect. I think I can do that. 3/8 over, zoom in a little bit. 3/8 up and connect. So that was that little thing that I made. And you can see that that's just spun around. It's a pattern. So here's my pattern. If I click on here, I can make a round pattern. And I'll pick these things, enter, and I have to find the center point. It's spinning about there. And then that's cool, but I only want 4. This whole new ribbon comes up, 4. That's it. That's what I'm looking for. Right there. That was pretty cool. And now I want him to go 4 over blah, 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 and down. So I'm going to draw a little target line 1/8 away. I just happen to be a target line drawer. And 1/8 down. And I'm going to make another pattern or array of this thing. I can make an array of an array. And look, I can move this so that comes right on it. And I can even make it go right to that endpoint or the endpoint of that. Okay, so not doing really great there. I can do, let me do a little bit better. There we go. Now, if you want it exact, you'll come up to here and you'll say the distance between is 3/8 plus 3/8 plus 1/8. That's 7/8. Now it's exact. And I can see it. And my up and down, I want 4 rows up and down also of 3/8 plus 3/8 plus 1/8, 7/8. Got it. Done. That's all there is to that one. I think that one is so cool. And if I click on this again, this all comes up so I can tweak it and fix it out and figure it all up. It's really kind of cool. Okay, so that's how we set that. Any questions on that one? I just happen to really like this one because it puts them both in there. Look, if you had to draw that line by line by line, oh my gosh, it would take you, 30 minutes or so. Or you could do this one and copy, 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 copy. Or you could draw them all and trim, 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 trim. But this was very fast and very easy. So I'll take my snip. Take my snip. And that one is number 3, right? And it's a save as. And I'm demonstrating everything just to show that, sometimes you, like I remember watching Julia Child when I was a kid. And, in half an hour, she would make this amazing thing. But she had everything all prepared ahead of time and blah, 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 blah. And it bummed me out because I'd try to make something. And 3 hours later, I'd have something. And it only took her half an hour. I like to actually demonstrate the whole thing for you. Okay, so let me see if I want to do number 4 or if I want to play around and have a good time doing some of this stuff. Oh, no, I like number 4. I'm going to do number 4. Number 4 is cool. Because you wouldn't even, my gosh. This one, when I first started teaching in design technology, I didn't know how to do this one, and I had to go ask my department chair. I go, I don't get it. And then, of course, once I saw it, was like, duh, duh. Oh my gosh. It was so simple. So I'm going to do it for you here. I'm going to turn this one off, open up a new one. Why did that not go away? Okay. So there are some things I know. I know there's an outside circle that's 3 3/8 inch in diameter. That's, remember, that little zero or circle with a slash means diameter. 3-3/8. And let me make sure I got my center. Yep. And so that there's a circle in the center that's 5/8. And if I touch out here, it finds that center. And if I touch again, it's 1 1/8. Now I got the start. Okay, here's the cool part. This weird arc is a circle that cuts here, and then I trim it in half. It's a circle, 2 points. Circle between, I need my quadrants to show up. That corner and that corner. And now I'll trim, and remember, I'm a typer. And then I just have to count how many there are, and this is always hard. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them. Take that object, enter, spin it about that point, and say 8. There it is. Did you ever believe you could do something that cool that fast? Holy moly. That took me, let me write the word time. And that says it took me where's my total elapsed time? 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Wow. 2 minutes and 22 seconds. So you guys can, I figure 20 minutes, right? Because you have to go back, you have to watch, you have to go, what was that again? How come mine doesn't click like his does? Because I've done it 10,000 times and AutoCAD knows what I want to do. So, so there we go. But I do have to keep going and do all my good parts to it. Snip. File, save as. Is this one plate 4 or plate 5? This must be plate 5? No, oh my gosh. I'm all off by 1 on these. I'll go back and figure out which one is which. That's plate 4. Okay, there we go. Any questions about those 4? There's a quick preview what we'll do for plate 5. That one is another one that's going to take 5 minutes. Plate 6 is going to take me a little longer. And plate 7 is where I really want to do some discussion with you and talking to you about. It's the lead in to working on industry standards, because industries have different things, and these are all available to you, and you can draw and do cool stuff. But it gets complex, and I want to make sure that you do the simple portion of it and don't get caught in the weeds. Okay, so there we go. Any last questions on those plates? Cool. Then just as a reminder, we did a new thing called Fillet. We did array. What else was new? We did these cool arc commands, and we found out that they drew clockwise. And we did a couple of different ways of drawing circles. Everything else you already knew, and I'm not expecting that these are as hard to learn as the first parts of it, right? I think it's easier to find a new tool now than it was 2 weeks ago. I don't mind showing you these. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.